Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope everything is going well. I wanted to do a year recap of my predictions from last year and also what I think is going to happen the next year. So last year I said that one of the things I said was that cocoa would be doing pretty well because the commercial hedges are starting to turn that long. Well, that didn't happen as I thought it would, but I wasn't killed by my position because I was selling options in the futures market to hedge some of the times that I was just trading the cocoa futures or the ETF NIB or ETN, whatever it is. But in regards to the softs, cocoa, coffee, sugar, right? They didn't have that much of a strong year. Now, we did see sugar bottom out at, I believe, 12 something in summertime. So I would expect those three commodities to perform well. And the reason is higher inflation, and I've talked about why we're going to get more inflation, right? The rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. So all these contracts are denominated in dollars, and we've seen a lot of selling, from 2011-ish to 2016-ish. And it's bound to bottom out, these commodities, especially the softs. And I will get into some of these commodities if we have decent pullbacks, and also looking at the CO2 data again. Two, I wanted to look at the S&P. S&P had a really good year this year, 18-19% to the upside. Very strong. Now, that being said, there are some technicians saying that, yeah, we're overbought, but just because we're overbought doesn't mean that the returns next year are going to be poor. And one technician said that, hey, RSI for the SPX, this is I think a week and a half ago, was 80, right? And what happens after a year from that? You tend to have still decent returns, 12 to 13%, and I expect no different next year. I expect a strong year, and that's because we have the tax cuts. Now, the tax cuts will be inflationary this time around, and because of that, you may see inflation hurting some profit margins. But overall, tax cuts will be bullish for the economy and for the S&P. Where we may run into some trouble is if the president goes along with the neocons and decides to bomb North Korea. That would be a terrible idea, in my opinion. And that would be detrimental to the stock market. The other detrimental aspect would be China. China's yield curve is almost negative, the 3-year and the 10-year. I think there's a difference of 10 basis points, so you have to watch out for China. If China slows down, that will slow down the rest of the world as well. But the tax cuts do definitely help us out. Now, in regards to gold and silver, I was listening to this Cliff High interview on the Greg Hunter channel, and some of the things that he says is quite crazy. Cliff High, right? I mean, he was talking about Bitcoin, and he did get the Bitcoin call right, that it would be trading substantially higher. But he's talking about $1,000 silver in 2 years. I think that's a bit crazy. But putting that aside, silver and gold should continue to do well. We're in a rate hike environment. Now, there's rumors of we're going to have 2 rate hikes or 3 rate hikes. Whatever it is, as long as we're not slashing rates, I should see more positive price action for these metals. In terms of price, I don't want to speculate, but gold hasn't been able to take out, I think it was like 1370-ish. So if it takes out 1370-ish, I think you could look at 1450 to 1500. That would be what I would be looking at. But once again, I look at the COT data, and I think that's the best way to analyze gold and silver. Now, in regards to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has gone up substantial this year. I didn't expect this move. And price action right now, what, $14,000 at Bitcoin? Cliff High was talking about Bitcoin could go as high as 60,000 next year, and then have a 20,000 point retracement. The reality for this is, who's buying these Bitcoins, right? It seems like a lot of newcomers are buying it right now. Sure, people may want to diversify from fiat currencies, but at the end of the day, it's just the Johnny-come-latelys are getting into it. And what reminds me of Bitcoin is what happened in 2011 with gold and silver, right? A lot of newbies like me came in and you got burned. And I see the same thing happening again. That doesn't mean that it's going to go to zero. Peter Schiff said it's going to go to zero. I don't see that happening at all. So next year, I see the softs, the sugar, the coffee, and not cotton, but the cocos of the world. Those should do better. I would expect in terms of crude oil, it's a mixed bag because the commercial hedgers are very net short as of right now. So once those positions start to liquidate, I may want to get in. But the only concern that I also have for crude oil, or the other concern that I have for crude oil, is China. Once again, their yield curve is what? Only 10 basis point difference between the 3 and the 10. Even though we're starting to see good information come out of the EIA, which is bullish right now, from what I checked out. But China is the #1 threat to higher oil prices, or to substantial increases in the price of oil. So, like I said before, soft should do the best in my opinion next year. S&P, we should see another good year, at least 12 to 13%, as what the technician had stated, which I talked about earlier in this video. And 3, I would expect Bitcoin prices to come hovering down. Now we shall see whether that's true or not. A lot of crypto guys are saying no, it's going to go to 100,000. We shall see. I don't want to get involved in cryptos unless they have options in the CME. If they do that, then I may want to get in. But anyways, guys, here's what I think. Let me know what your predictions are, and I hope you have a nice new year. Talk to you later. Bye.